sometimes it seems like to get one project done, I gotta get into another project, maybe 2 or 3, just to get to that one project I want to get to. But as it is, I have a lot of projects to do, so I'm doing a lot of projects kind of at the same time. Get a little bit at this one, and a little bit at that one, a little bit at this one, and then that one, and another, and so on and so forth. At the moment, I need to move the rods away from this utility shelf to deal with. I got to get something out of a container, but there's all this stuff in the way. Could just move these all to the side, but there are rods here I don't want. There are broken rods I might give away to a friend or so, because I have duplicates of them and I only need one, right? And then once I get to that container, this whole shelf has got stuff on it that I don't want. I had plans for it. Maybe I've done a project with it already and I don't have a need for it anymore. But since I'm about to make a big move, I don't want to be, and I've said this many times and I will keep saying it, I don't want to haul stuff that I don't need to haul. So I've got a lot of things there. But, sometimes moving rods is a pain, because you see, who knows how many are here. There's a lot, but some of these have lines on them with lures and things, and so they're kind of sewed together. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I mean, I want to make a fishing video tonight too, but I'm doing this. It is so hot and humid, and this is probably the hottest part of the house, and the nicest part of the house is where the AC is, and that's not that nice. So I have to wait for the sun to go down to be able to really focus on things in here without being drenched in sweat within a minute and super uncomfortable, right? I can't really focus like that. Welcome back to M Hood Discovered, by the way. Yeah, you're right. Thanks for coming on over here to see what I'm up to. It's kind of boring, just sorting through stuff. I've got a lot of that to do. I don't know if I'm going to cover it all, if I'm going to video it all. Yeah, it kind of sounds a little boring. Like, sometimes a video of you shopping at Walmart is really interesting because it's Walmart. Other times it's not, right? So sometimes boring things like this are interesting. Other times they're just daunting. I mean, look. Some people are going to be like, that's nothing. Well, if you think that's nothing, I'd like to think, well, shoot, I'd like to see what you think is something. Trust me. I agree. That's nothing. But my mind is working as I look at it. How to attack it, where to go, what to do. I got to get ready because I want to... rods that have rigs on them and lines strung through their eyes that I'm not going to be using anytime soon, that all needs to be broke down. And if it's a twosie, it needs to, if it's like, say this rod right here is a twosie, that could travel as a twosie rather than a onesie. See, it's together. That could be put into two again and strapped together without the line going through it. You see, this has a spinnerbait on there. Am I going to use that before I go? What rods do I just leave ready to go, ready to do something with? What are the rods that are absolute trash and I just need to take the reel off because the reel is good? Yeah. Yeah, plus bit of bait's got to come off there, right? Some baits, like I just showed you, the spinnerbait, I got to be ready to put that in something, and we're kind of crowded in here. So one thing at a time here. One thing at a time. That is Correct. Yeah, you're right. So y'all, I'm waiting for this lady to contact me. We're going to be negotiating something. I think I may have something. I think I may have a place, but I'm not 100% sure yet. I don't have a green light. I'm right there at that yellow light that's about to change, right? So I think what we'll do is, this is an ultralight I haven't been using lately. I have two kind of like this, but they're not duplicates. Here's another one, another ultralight that I'm not using. They both have baits on them. I think I'll just bring out my to-go perch box, my to-go panfish box, sockeye crappie box sort of thing. My to-go boxes are smaller, and then the bigger boxes that I use are just storage, right? So I like to stay organized. I was talking to this lady, the lady I'm waiting to hear from tonight. I was talking to her last night. We didn't get too deep into chatting about business, but she told me I was super organized, and I guess maybe I am. I don't feel super organized, but I guess maybe I am, because like I said, I have seen worse. I've seen places where it was just a pile of stuff. I've seen places where there was a trail. Right? I've got people in my family, especially one I don't hang out with much. He's really good at loading a house full of junk, going to garage sales and getting stuff out of the garbage. Maybe that's in my blood too, because when you live in a place for a few years, you start collecting junk. Not everybody does it. I've collected some, not a horrible amount. And because of what I do for a living, when I had that P.O. box open, and there were companies that wanted to send stuff that couldn't go to the P.O. box, because it was too big. There's always people sending stuff. Yeah, I'm not talking about subscribers alone, but yeah, subscribers send stuff sometimes when there's a public address they can send it to. But there's always companies that want to send stuff, right? At one time I had like 3 power stations. I've been stacked up with e-bikes. I just need one e-bike at a time, but there were times when I was accepting too many e-bikes, and I had like 4 e-bikes in this little shit box of a trailer. All kinds of stuff they send, and some of it you use regularly, and some of it you use for a little bit, and then you're not using it for whatever reason. Some of it they send, you think it's going to be good, that's why you agreed, but then you get it, and it's okay. It's not that great, right? It's not a lot of that. I try to avoid that. Heck, if I wanted to, I could just be constantly reviewing junk, because let me tell you, I turn a lot of that shit down. There's a lot of stuff people are always offering to send some piece of junk for me to review, and it's like not something I could ever really use or would want to use. It's dumb, it's stupid, or it makes no sense in my life. Like I'm a fishing channel in one sense, and in another sense, whatever this is, lifestyle odyssey, whatever, transitioning channel. I jokingly say it's a trans channel, but don't get me wrong, it's not what you think. It's like this is just me documenting behind the scenes how I'm changing my life and where I'm going and what I'm doing and what I'm having for dinner and how I cook that shit and other things. But yeah, so why would I need an electric skateboard? Offering me electric skateboards. This one company offered me an electric scooter to review, and that turned out to be, well, I've had a few of those offered to me, but one of them turned out to be non-existent. Well, the offer was rescinded because of the tariffs. When the tariffs hit, all those offers dried up. Thankfully, because, you know, my spam folder was getting loaded. And now I don't get too many offers to review bullshit. But being humans, we are good at doing a number on ourselves. We don't need someone to give us bullshit. We can go get our own, right? And then it fills up our house. Like, we can go to Walmart, Dollar General, it's about anywhere, or Temu or Amazon, order a bunch of crap, and then all that crap just systematically breaks, right? And then maybe we don't throw it away right away because, you know, we got high spirits. We think we can fix it, but shit. It doesn't always work that way. Let me try to get something done. It's already hot in here. I'm going to pull out the perch stuff I'm not using right now. I see a few things, but I also see some easy things to grab that at least one of these is broke, but these cane poles, as pretty as they look to me, they're so super cheap. I'm just going to give them to the world. There's a free box, so yeah, you're right. Look at this. When this was sent to me, I was excited. This is supposed to be a tournament catfish rod by Twitching Whiskers, right? I'm gonna have to just throw it away. I'm gonna put it in over at the free box. Maybe somebody can do something with it. I was coming back from a session. I don't know, maybe it was a rough ride or something. But when I looked in my bike trailer, the reel had come off this, and I was like, oh, it just loosened up and it came out of its seat. Oh, then I took a look at everything and I realized something was really wrong. And I thought, shoot, let's get that in the house and take a closer look. Well, as it turns out, these threads, when that reel came off, these threads messed up, and you cannot get this to move now because the threads are messed up. There's nothing to do about it. I've tried and tried. This is made in China, so there's probably some issue with these threads, the alloy in there. Yeah, they're trash. It's unfortunate, but yeah, this was sent to me. When I took this out of the package and I got a good close look at it, I thought they'd sent me a baitcaster catfish rod, because the first eye isn't very big. It's not coming out very far. And most catfish rods that you use a conventional coffee grinder reel on, the first guide is going to come out a good ways. So this is so close to the rod that when you're reeling, the line hits this, and it's kind of funny. So I asked, did you send me a bait caster? And he said, oh no. So I looked at their rods closer, and their bait caster is a little smaller than this, and this is just a little bigger, right? It's not much, it's not coming out that much further from the rod as the bait caster rod is. You almost can't see it. So yeah, it is a decent rod for the boat, but maybe not so much for the money. But you know how some tournament fishermen are. They're gonna throw a lot of money at their gear. Sometimes it's worth it. Other times it's just throwing money out the door, right? And I'm not a tournament fisherman. I don't do tournaments. I just do this. So yeah, it's going. Maybe somebody can make it work for them. I am making some headway here, getting to this shelf. I have put some rods to the side to do some things with them, take some stuff off them. Yes, I've chosen some rods that I'm not keeping. There were rods I knew I was going to get rid of, and then there were rods I had to make a decision on. And I'm sure there are guys, oh, give those to me. Or there's guys like, right now, they've already jumped in the truck, and they're going to that free box. That stuff's gone, buddy. That stuff's gone, because I'm like 5, 6, 7 videos ahead at this point. So yeah. I'm this video shot way in the past compared to when you're seeing it for the first time on its first day going public, because yeah, I'm well ahead. Anyway, that rod, that tournament rod, was a decent rod, but sometimes you get a rod from China that seems really, really decent until you realize it's got one fault, right? Because some things from China are good and some things are not. There's a lot of corners that are cut, and I think those threads are one of those corners. Yep. I've got a lot of rods here that I don't use anymore. I'll tell you what, there are things that we drag around in life with us that we just have the hardest time getting rid of. It's not always just like the junk you get off the street for free. It's like there's 2 things I think are really hard for me to let go. A fishing rod that works, rod and reel, and tools. But I gotta let some stuff go. Getting rid of a lot of these projects from the past. I've already recorded stuff with them. These are circuit bent projects, but the thing about circuit bending, when you take old toys like this and you take them apart and do things, you do circuit bending on them, they break after a while and they become useless. And I've done these projects over and over, and I've got them stacked up. Some of these things I haven't done anything with, but this particular box right here, those are things that I've all done. Some of these projects I couldn't do much with, but maybe just a line out and a couple potentiometers. They're not special, right? Not worth dragging, because a lot of times these are a dime a dozen toys like this. They got them in Texas just like they got them here. No reason to drag them there when I've already done what I want to do with them, right? I don't want to keep using them. Maybe I'll keep a couple. There's a few things I really like, but there's a lot. This one here, I'm gonna have a hard I'm gonna keep it, because it's I can't let it go. But some of these things like this right here, it's super easy, because sometimes I get these things from thrift stops, sometimes I get them from the garbage. So most of these were free and some came from the thrift shop. And then there's this. A subscriber from the fishing channel gave me 3 of these reel-to-reels. One of them could be fixed. That one doesn't work. And then one of them works fine. The one that works fine has been living in my studio for a while, and I'm definitely bringing that. And then I got these other 2, and these things are heavy. I don't know if I just want to take it to the free box, because nobody's gonna. Yeah, there's not too many of us in the world that want these, and they're not worth much. Some are, some are not, right? Probably just gonna take that to Texas. So sometimes we just can't part ways with stuff that maybe we should part ways with, because maybe I could get that working. It would be nice. It would be nice to have that one working too, because you can have like yeah, I really would like to get it working actually. And the other one, I'd like to have all 3 working, so I could have all 3 doing tape loops all at the same time, because I'm really into tape. So yeah, probably not going to put that at the free box, even though it's a massive paperweight at the moment. I have a lot of keyboards that I've circuit bent, and I'm not getting rid of all of them, but most of them. I think I'm just keeping one. Yeah, getting rid of a lot of stuff. People are going to be like, whoa, this toy has a jack on it. What's that about? Oh. It's amazing that I was able to collect 2 of these for free, and I never did anything with them. I don't even know if these work, but I like this kind of toy. I like to work with this to make strange music. If I can circuit bend it, if I can be successful. And it's nice to find 2, because one might not be successful and then you can have a second chance on the other one. But what's cool about these is the scratch thing here. Yeah, as long as there's weird effects in there that you can find, it's worth it. Otherwise, yeah, well, you could still do stuff with it, but we're gonna have to find stuff in Texas to do stuff with. Finally uncovered my 3rd reel-to-reel. This is the one that kind of works. I think I just need to clean the head. Yeah, I'm definitely not going to let that go. And here's one of my electroacoustic projects, one of my noise boxes I made. Kind of seems like a difficult thing to travel with, but I don't know if I can let go of that. It's got contact mics inside of it. And I've got these empty boxes here that I bought at Dollar General. These wooden boxes to do the same thing with. I could put stuff in those. I don't think I'm gonna let those go. But I got this metal box here that I found in the garbage that I thought I would do something with, but I can let that go. I'll let that go. This is the box of stuff that I wanted to, this is why I wanted to move everything out of the way, so I can get some stuff out of there from working on the bike. I know it's not lost on me that this is just another boring vlog in the house, but yeah, just wanted to let you know where I'm at. I'm busy. That's where I'm at. I'm busy in here, and I have to wait for the sun to go down to where it's not going to give me a heat stroke working in here dealing with all this stuff, because this is the stuff I have to deal with when I have to move. I don't want to move it all. Yeah, you're right. It's the sins of the father. Maybe that's what it is. Sometimes it's my dad where I get that bug from, that junk fever, collecting stuff and doing things with it, and then it just clogs up the arteries of the house, rather than just moving all this useless stuff and just go through it and let go. You know, it's like taking a big dump. It feels good getting it out of your life, but I don't want to just throw it in the dumpster. There is a free box, and I'm about to take a bunch of stuff up to the free box. I thought about taking you, but I'm not taking you. Yeah, you're right. So while I was shooting this vlog, I sat down in the AC to take a break, and I was chatting with my friend. The thing that I was kind of excited about, I don't know if it's going to work out, but it is something. It's like if push comes to shove, I've got this thing I could rent. There's a building I could rent. It's kind of rough. It's got stuff in it. I don't think it has power or water, but come push to shove, I could get that. I don't think it's going to cost much. Sometimes it's easier for me to find something to rent at a place when I'm in the place where I'm looking, right? It's really difficult for me to rent something long distance. I kind of got to know the person. And like with this particular trailer. That's how I got this, but I couldn't get pictures of it. I couldn't get a lot of info. And so when I just came with money in my pocket and I looked and I was like, oh my goodness. Yeah. But with this instance, with right now, I got a really good friend where I want to go in Mineola, and he can send me pictures. He's honest. He's very Billy from Last Cast Bait and Tackle there on Lake Holbrook. Really good friend of mine, my best friend in Mineola. Very honest. He's gonna tell me if it's worth it or not. Right? He's gonna be honest. He's gonna give me the ins and outs of what it is. There's properties that we're waiting to hear about, that we're hoping we hear a positive message when we get the call back. But there is something available. It's just not ideal. But push come to shove, we think we can make it work, but it'd be temporary. But yeah, still got to get through all this stuff and get it out of the house and deal with it, see what I want and what I don't. Anyway, thanks for bearing with me as I make this transition, this move, because this is a trans channel. Yeah, you're right. You know what I mean. My life is in transition right now. Sometimes I feel like it's always in transition, going from one thing to the other. But that just means fresher content, different scenery. Yeah, you're right. Thanks for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing, being a member of the channel, and I will see y'all next time.